All right, boys. Another day, another cut content from AniNews. Let's see what we got today, man. We had an amazing episode today. I'm very excited to see what cut content we got because a lot happened. All right, we had a lot of hype moments. The little last 7 minutes were some of the most hype ReZero moments I've ever seen, bro. It was just back to back to back hype. So let's see what we got today, man. What actually happened between Ram, Roswaal, and Emilia? Hey, man, low key, that Roswaal and Emilia stuff was crazy. Let's get it.
With everything finally starting to come together now, it makes sense that the anime has to be very concise with the way they show it.
Yeah.
But there's so many moving pieces and different character arcs going on at the same time that I wouldn't be surprised if some of the stuff we saw in this episode may have come off as a little confusing.
True. I can see the case because there's a lot going on. I was able to understand, but like I can definitely understand if people are like, whoa, what is happening, right? There's a lot going on. A lot is going on. A lot is happening. Dude, there's so much fucking happening. We're trying to pretty much conclude so many different arcs, so many characters, trying to fit everyone in, trying to like pretty much have everything come together. It makes sense why it could be confusing and like a little overwhelming because like, holy shit, dude. Bro, Betty stuff, Manchi stuff, Elsa, the siblings, fucking Puck comes out of fucking nowhere to beat Roswaal. Like, there's a lot going on, so I can definitely understand that, yeah.
I mean, if the conversation between Ram and
Hey, man, all good, bro. Good night, man. I'll see you, bro. See you, bro.
Roswaal didn't make much sense to you, well, that's because the entirety of their vow wasn't properly explained. Or I bet you didn't realize that Roswaal went to Emilia with the intent of getting her to attack him. So it's details like that that we'll cover as we...
So, that's what he was trying to do the entire time? Went to Emilia with the intent of getting her to attack him.
So it's details like that that we'll cover as we go through everything.
Bro was
the anime
instigating
from the novels. Let's begin. Episode 46, A Howling Reunion, covering the last few chapters of Volume 14 of the light novel.
Alright.
Starting things off with the preparations to leave Sanctuary, there was a little bit more to Subaru's conversation with Ram. You see, while Garfield and Otto were away retrieving the shield from Ryuzu's cabin...
Okay, that's where the shields were. Yeah. Because, like, he had the shields on. I was, like, wondering, like, yo, I feel like I've seen them before. Where the fuck did they get them again? Yeah, right here. That's the frame. Yeah, I don't know what episode it was, but I definitely saw this, like, frame here of the wall in one of the episodes.
Conversation with Ram. You see, while Garfield and Otto were away retrieving the shield from Ryuzu's cabin, it gave Subaru a chance to explain to Ram what was happening. As you'd expect, she was understandably confused by Subaru's sudden decision to leave. I mean, to her, he was pretty much abandoning Emilia during a very crucial moment.
Again. Like, we've seen bro do this multiple times, by the way. Like, Emilia's like, yo, I think the one that comes to mind, do y'all remember, what was it? I think it was episode 10 of season 1? It was the one where Emilia was like sitting down. She was like sleeping while Subaru woke up after he like got bit by all the dogs all the way back in like R2. Like, and bro just dipped. He was just like, I'm out, bro. like it's just like, bro, Emilia's just like always left behind, bro. It's fucking crazy.
So it only made sense that her demeanor was a bit more harsh than usual. That being said, it's not like Subaru would have minded explaining every little detail behind his actions. It's just that there wasn't enough time to do it. So instead, he could only say that it was all to save Petra and Frederica. As valid of a reason as this was, there was still this very visible expression of doubt stuck on Ram's face. She couldn't seem to believe that that was reason enough for him to leave Emilia. But even if that was how she felt, Subaru still trusted that Ram would fulfill her role the same way that everyone else was trying to. Sure, this was definitely a huge gamble to make, but that was all part of what he signed up for.
Yeah.
Now, the reason the villagers were so easily able to accept Subaru's departure was because he wasn't the one that took responsibility for their liberation. No, that burden fell onto a certain half-elf.
Yep. Yeah, he abandons Emilia a lot, but they're definitely justified, for sure. No, they're definitely justified. I'm just saying, it's like funny that like we've seen this like we've seen this multiple times, bro. So he He and Puck tied her to the chair so she would not follow them. Right, I think I forgot. Oh, I forgot about that shit. Yeah, I mean, she literally just couldn't go, huh? Okay. Yeah. He was, okay. I see. But yeah, also, again, the purpose of the purpose of this whole entire trial thing, we can't forget the main thing as well is for the villager support, right? The villager support for the villagers' trust to grow as well. Emilia is still in this as well because she has to do it. She has to be the one to do it. So something I have to keep in mind because like it's been a while since we touched on that subject, but that's also a key detail about this entire trial thing.
He wasn't the one that took responsibility for their liberation.
Yeah.
No, that burden fell onto a certain.
Emilia's the one to liberate.
Remember, it had only been a day or so since Emilia had made the declaration that she was going to free them.
Dude, this is crazy. It's been only a day? Dude, I think, okay. Subaru resetting is going to make me lose track of time here. Like, Subaru fucking resetting? Bro. Dude, it literally feels like weeks have passed. What? Dude, this is crazy. It feels like so much time. What the fuck, man? Yo, Subaru resetting is going to literally make me lose track of time in this fucking anime, man. Dude, this feels like... Okay, I guess like... Okay, it's not even just Subaru resetting. It's that we're focusing on so many different people and so many different character arcs that like... We kind of just have to switch POVs and like different like perspectives. So like obviously it's going to feel like a lot of time has passed, but it hasn't. It's only been what? Only been a day?
A day or so since Emilia.
A day or so? Oh my god.
Had made the declaration that she was.
Subaru's checkpoint is after the first trial, so the actual time pass is not much. That is such a crazy concept. The fact that the time has been like a day, bro. Okay.
Fell onto a certain half-elf.
Okay.
Remember, it had only been a day or so since
my
Emilia
brain trembles,
had
bro.
The declaration that she was going to free them.
Jesus.
So it was that recent memory that allowed them to have so much faith in her. As Subaru was about to end the conversation with one final word of warning, the villagers instead cut him off before he could finish. They seemed to already know that he was about to talk about waiting to the limit for something. We don't exactly know what they're referring to here, but it does make it seem like the villagers will be playing a role in helping Emilia take care of things in Sanctuary.
That's good.
Anyway, after Emilia heard that Subaru had left her, it was because she knew he loved her that she was only a little annoyed by it.
Ah, see the difference now, man? Like, she knows now, man. He does this because he loves her, bro. The love. Now she understands, and she's like a little. Now there's a difference, right? Now it's like she's a little annoyed. She's not like fucking pissed. She's not confused, angry. She's just like a little annoyed.
Because she knew that Subaru cared for her the most out of anyone.
Yep.
Not only did it show that he didn't doubt her success, but it also helped her to understand that there was someone out there who needed his help more than she did. It was a display of trust that only she was capable of recognizing.
W.
Now, when Ram knelt down to make her request to Emilia, this wasn't just a simple display of courtesy. No. To kneel before another person was what the people of this world considered to be the greatest show of respect.
Oh. I don't think I knew that. Kneeling down like that is the greatest show of respect in this world? I don't think I knew that. So that's why it was such a big deal. I mean, I know that like kneeling down and like bowing down. I think I was confusing it because like normally bowing down means like a very big like show of respect, or like I guess like trying to like ask for something. But no, she was kneeling. I guess it's just that big of a deal, I guess. Wow, okay. Yeah, she won't turn to crazy Emilia now.
It was the highest level of formality only given to those deserving of the utmost admiration.
Ah, that's why Will did it here. There's way more meaning to these like little knee. Oh my god. That's why Will like kneeled here. Oh shit.
So this was meant to show Emilia just how sincere she was. As we saw, Ram was done being the tool that Roswaal wanted her to be. It was a way of living that she simply couldn't abide by anymore, resulting in her asking Emilia to break Roswaal's obsession with the book. But after she did, Emilia proceeded to ask if Roswaal would even be okay with that. It was a question to which Ram knew the answer was he most certainly wouldn't be. But what she also knew was that this was the only way her feelings would ever get through to him. So, even if she was well aware that without the book, Roswaal would panic and lose his will to live,
Crazy.
standing before her right now was an opportunity to finally change the way of life he's been so eternally bound by.
Hopefully. Because, okay, bro, the amount of fucking love and glaze, not just for Echidna, right? Bro, this man is a book sexual, bro. This man will follow that book to the ends of the earth. To the point where if it's not going his way, he will say, he literally said that the world is finna end, bro. We're cooked. Like, damn, this guy is just...
A chance that she wasn't going to allow to slip away from her.
But yeah.
It turned into this plea for help that ended up shaking Emilia to her very core. Not because she understood what exactly Ram was asking of her, but instead because this was the first time that Ram had thought to depend on anyone other than herself.
So the crazy thing is, it's not even just Ram saying this and asking for like the little plea for help, as AniNews said here. It's the fact that she was also kneeling down. The craziest show of respect also coming from Ram herself. Literally just begging for help, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. All this coming from Ram this episode. Have I been saying Ram? I don't know. Ram, right? Ram has definitely shocked me this episode. Definitely, wow.
So, what Emilia felt in this moment was nothing but a single sense of duty. One that filled her chest with a burning intensity so strong that even her hands were starting to tremble. Now,
tremble. My brain trembles, bro. He said it.
One thing to note about Roswaal's initial appearance is that he was a bit more hostile than what we saw in the anime.
Oh.
You see, after Emilia mentioned how she couldn't accept his hollow words of congratulations, Roswaal went on to explicitly state that that's not what they were meant to be.
I'm somewhat relieved, namely, that even an airhead like you is able to understand that my congratulations just now were not words of goodwill. Yo, why was he so aggressive? Yo, he was really aggressive. Dude, he was... The way he said... My god, okay.
He was happy that Emilia was able to understand that it was sarcasm. Even so,
oh my god,
Emilia was still confused as to what his intent was. His emotions were coming off a bit too mixed for her to figure out what he wanted. Kind of like half of it was sorrow and the other half was joy. What she could easily tell though was that Roswaal was suffering. It was obvious the answer he was hoping to find by coming here wasn't the one he was currently receiving.
Yep.
So when he tried to instill doubt into Emilia, much like how he tried to do with Garfield, there was something about the way he said his scornful remarks that made Emilia feel as if they weren't even meant for her.
Oh,
it was almost as if they were complaints directed towards himself. Perhaps all that stuff about Subaru only being interested in the ideal version of the woman he loved was...
Didn't y'all also say that, like, I think someone mentioned it, I don't know who it was, he was like projecting. There it is. Yeah. What he was saying wasn't like just like directly at Emilia, bro. Was just projecting, coping, every fucking just name it all, bro. This guy is cooked, bro.
Wasn't the one he was currently receiving. So when he tried to instill doubt into Emilia, much like how he tried to do with Garfield, there was something about the way he said his scornful remarks that made Emilia feel as if they weren't even meant for her. It was almost as if they were complaints directed towards himself.
Yep.
Perhaps all that stuff about Subaru only being interested in the ideal version of the woman he loved was actually nothing more than Roswaal just projecting his own feelings.
Yep, literally just Roswaal projecting his own feelings. Crazy. The fuck, yeah, Echidna's little simp, bro. The Echidna Glazer, #1, tier 3 sub. Like, this guy is on a whole nother level.
Whatever it was, though, the truth of the matter was that Roswaal was wrong. If Subaru truly was like Roswaal and only had affection for the ideal version of Emilia, then that Emilia would never have been able to make it past the trial at all.
Exactly.
She would still be crying in the tomb at the sight of an incomprehensible past. But because that wasn't what had happened, Emilia was instead able to be standing here denying everything that Roswaal was saying, eventually leading to the conclusion that she'd turn all the lies into wishes.
Dude, that line was so fucking good, bro. Dude, that shit was so fucking good, bro. That she turned all the lies into wishes, bro. When she said that shit, oh my god, bro, that was so hype. That's a really good fucking line, dude. Like, Emilia in this scene was cooking, dude. She was fucking cooking. Like,
but
oh my
Emilia
god.
everything that Roswaal was saying,
She was
eventually
cooking, man.
leading to the conclusion that she'd turn all the lies into wishes. It was
My
after she
god.
said this that Roswaal took more than a few moments to comprehend the fact that he'd just been denied. And it was as he did that Emilia came to a sudden realization. She began to think that perhaps Roswaal had come here to make her do something terrible. With the way he'd been acting so far, it wasn't too far-fetched to think that that was the reason for his visit.
Yeah.
In fact, it was the only plausible reason that she could think of, based on everything she'd seen and heard. It was almost like he'd been trying to aggravate her to the point that she'd lash out at him. So, when she directly asked him if that was the case, the only thing that Roswaal said in response was that he happened to dislike pain.
Appeared to get us away. I happen to dislike pain. Interesting.
It was a confusing answer to the question she had given, but it wasn't one that went to deny what she was inferring, leaving Emilia with no choice but to conclude that Roswaal had come here to be punished. As for why he wanted that, well, that's something we only figure out after Emilia went to face her unknowable present. You see, Roswaal's conversation with Ram after she had left pretty much went to confirm Emilia's suspicion. She was correct in assuming that Roswaal wanted her to hurt him.
What the fuck? Bro wanted punishment? You want to be punished? Bro, it's too late, bro. Is it too late? Okay. Is Roswaal gonna have a redemption arc? Is that actually gonna fucking happen? No way. Are we gonna give this motherfucker a redemption arc? Is he gonna be chilling? I don't know. I don't think that... How would that even happen? How would that even work? Like, I really don't know what the future for Roswaal is, but like, I just don't see him like... It's very hard for me to see a future where like the series goes on and we just have bro just chilling with us. I don't know. It's just... Reminds me of Subaru in his past when he wanted his parents to punish him. Ah, good point. I mean, I guess, bro just wants to be punished. I mean, it's just crazy because like, I don't know if Roswaal will ever. I don't know if a redemption arc would work, bro. How would that even work, bro? I don't know, but hey, man. Or he's a masochist. Yeah, he's an M. Maybe he's just an M, bro. Who knows?
Correct in assuming that Roswaal wanted her to hurt him, but it wasn't because he wanted to be punished. No.
Oh.
The only reason he was being so provoking was because that's what the book had told him to do.
Oh, what the fuck? Whatever. We're over here speculating and breaking my fucking brain. Oh. Well then. No. It wasn't because he wanted to be punished. The only reason he was being so provoking was because that's what the book told him to do. Now, it's just a fucking book. This fuck-ass book, bro. He's gonna follow this shit to the fucking end, bro. God damn it.
The only reason he was being so provoking was because that's what the book had told him to do. Had Emilia lashed out at him like the book had predicted, then Roswaal would have won his bet with Subaru right there.
Good fucking point. But it didn't happen. Take that L, bro. Take that fucking L, buddy. Big L, buddy. Oh, shit.
But because Emilia had been influenced by Ram prior to the conversation, the game still continued with Roswaal heading towards defeat.
Oh, man.
Regardless of what the situation was, though, Roswaal still intended to do everything in his power to fulfill the words written in his book. So that meant taking advantage of Garfiel's departure from Sanctuary.
For sure.
Because he and the others had left. It presented Roswaal with the opportunity to capitalize on a massive hole in their defense. A chance to shift the tides that he also decided to tell Ram about. Although he didn't explicitly say what he was going to do. The very fact he still trusted her enough to tell her was more than enough to fill Ram with immense feelings of happiness.
Interesting. Yeah, he saw that opening. He saw Subaru dip, he saw Garfield dip, and of course, he saw especially Otto dip, bro. He just knew. Ah, fuck, dude. I gotta lock in. I'm gonna see if I can get an opening here, bro.
I mean, up until now, the commands he gave her were quite literally what she lived for. But it had gotten to the point where she just couldn't ignore how hollow it all felt.
I mean, yeah, bro. The grooming went crazy, bro. Of course it all fell hollow, man. He saw you as a tool. A disposable tool at that. Like, bro, you're literally only a tool, bro. He took a page out of AniNews style, bro. Like... Yeah, he literally can't do anything out of the book, bro. This man is literally word for word, bar for bar, bro.
That's why this time she couldn't obey his order to wait for Emilia. Even if his concern for her, Subaru, and everyone else did in fact seem to be genuine, the place it was coming from was far too twisted for Ram to accept anymore.
Let's go, Ram.
It was a conclusion she was influenced into by her conversation with Otto.
W Otto.
While the flashback did show Ram to be quite cooperative from the get-go, it took quite a bit more convincing in the novels to—
And that's why we watched the break time before the AniNews. That's why we watched the break time before AniNews, because he does this shit like this. Alright, we're doing this from now on. But yeah, Otto playing a big role, like always. Otto always plays a big role. This motherfucker always comes in clutch, man.
With Otto. While the flashback did show Ram to be quite cooperative from the get-go, it took quite a bit more convincing in the novels to get her to even listen. There was even a point where she felt the need to threaten Otto with her wand.
My god.
Not because he was a physically intimidating individual, but more so because she could tell that he had plenty of tricks up his sleeve.
God damn, Eddie, you gotta do my boy dirty like that? Not because he was like, what, physically threatening? What the fuck did he say, bro? Don't do my boy dirty like that. It's true, but like, damn, man. Damn.
More so because she could tell that he had plenty of tricks up his sleeve. The fact that he had been so easily able to catch her off guard was more than enough to prove that. So
yeah,
Ram
he does have
felt
some
it was
tricks.
important to overwhelm Otto by any means necessary. Once she saw that he wasn't even flinching though, that's when Ram decided it wouldn't hurt to hear what he had to say. She could always determine whether or not to use her wand on him after the negotiations were done. By the time it was over, the core factor that had managed to influence her was Otto's display of determination. There was something about his stupidly blunt approach of exposing their entire plan that made her appreciate his efforts.
Bro, Otto, man. Dude, this guy just keeps proving over and over again why he's the GOAT, bro. This guy's the GOAT. This guy's the GOAT, bro. The amount of clutches, the role that Otto plays, bro. He's like the glue, bro. The glue. He keeps everything together, bro. There's no success without Otto, bro. Like, Otto is just fucking goated, man.
The core factor that had managed to influence her was Otto's display of determination. There was something about his stupidly blunt approach of exposing their entire plan that made her appreciate his efforts.
Okay.
Part of which led her to realize that Otto was acting on his own. What the anime didn't tell us was that none of this conversation was directed by the orders of Subaru.
Yeah.
It was a plan that Otto had come up with all by himself. So Ram couldn't help but respect his courageous yet idiotic maneuver. Switching back to the present now, there was a certain feeling of joy that came when Ram found she'd been able to use clairvoyance on Roswaal. Reason being that clairvoyance was a secret Oni art that only functioned when the wavelengths of the caster and target were compatible with each other. Given that that's how it worked, it wasn't too hard for someone like Ram to manipulate her own to match that of a wild animals or demon beasts. But when it came to a high-ranked opponent like Roswaal, he could easily disrupt her ability to match his wavelength by simply closing himself off to her.
Damn.
What this means is that if Roswaal had never truly opened his heart to her, then her clairvoyance never would have worked on him at all. That's why Ram had never tried to use it on him before. She was scared of finding out if Roswaal ever truly trusted her. So, when the time came for her to finally find an answer to a question she'd always been hiding from, it only made sense that she was happy to see clairvoyance actually work on him, proving once and for all that Roswaal did in fact confide in her.
Damn.
Now, while the initial part of Ram and Roswaal's confrontation was pretty much the same, the vow they made with each other could use a little more context.
Yeah, please do. Honestly, you know what? This is one part, because like the vow thing did happen a little quick. There was a lot going on, bro. Yeah, that episode had so many fucking moments going on. Yeah, what's happening here?
You see, Ram had pledged unyielding loyalty to Roswaal in exchange for his help in getting revenge on the people who destroyed her village.
Oh,
but
right.
what the anime didn't quite make clear was that it was a limited time arrangement. Ram's subservience to Roswaal only needed to continue so long as Roswaal still desired the goal that he was chasing after.
Oh.
If there ever came a time when he no longer pursued the objectives given to him by the book, then Roswaal had promised to give whatever was left of himself to Ram, making it so that if he had ever lost his reason to live, then Ram would be the one who was free to choose what to do with him.
Oh, shit, dude. Damn, okay, yeah, that entire part did not know. It went past my head. It, like, the anime, like, they just kept like saying like these like vague, it wasn't really vague, but like they kept saying like these like lines of like the vow and whatever the hell. I was like, low-key, I had no idea what they were talking about. Okay, well there we go.
Then Roswaal had promised to give whatever was left of himself to Ram.
Roswaal promised to give whatever was left of himself to Ram? See, but like, what does this mean though? Like the rest of like what's left of himself, like as a person, like what are we talking about here? Control over him? What?
Making it so that if he had ever lost his reason to live, then Ram would be the one who was free to choose what to do with him.
Free to do with him. Huh, so what is she gonna do with Roswaal? I wonder, what are we gonna do with Roswaal, bro? Hey man, we could do like we could use him as a Pokemon, bro. We could use him as a Pokemon, bro. Call up Roswaal if we ever need him, man. So what she meant by that, she would not be happy if she got an empty husk. He thought she would kill him / beat him. Okay.
That was the terms of their agreement. So, because this was a world divergent from the path outlined in the book, Roswaal's objective was no longer attainable. It meant there was only one last thing that Ram needed to do now.
Yep.
And that was destroy the Book of Knowledge. If she did, not only would it ensure that she was no longer bounded by the conditions of the vow, but it would also force Roswaal to follow through with his part.
Interesting. But like, wait, can the book actually be destroyed? Yo, I never thought of that. Yo, just burn the book, bro. I mean, I don't know. Does it have some special magic on it? Can we burn that shit? Throw that shit in the fire, bro. Fuck that shit, man. Actually, I don't know. Could it be useful? Maybe not. Actually, no. Probably not useful at all, huh? It's just that future. It's not really useful for anything else.
Basically guaranteeing Subaru and Ram their victory.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Roswaal went on to speak about the destruction of Ram's village, there was actually a reason behind him saying that the vow was something Ram was forced into. And that's because the only other option was death.
Oh.
You see, back when Ram's horn had been cut from her head, it left her body in a state that simply wasn't capable of supporting itself. Had Roswaal not come along and offered his body to support her own, then Ram would have died in only a matter of days.
Okay.
So anyone with this knowledge would definitely consider the vow to be something Ram had no choice but to say yes to.
Bro, pretty much gave her no choice. I mean, life or death, bro. Life or fucking death. That's fucked, dude. She had no choice, bro. Like, she was finna die. There's nothing she could've... Bro, that is fucked, bro.
It was a secret she'd been keeping hidden for all this time now. She couldn't remember who exactly it was she was trying to hide it from, but she knew that she wouldn't ever let that person know about this deal that she made with the devil.
Oh, Ram.
As Ram tried to fill in this gap in her memory, Roswaal began to praise her for getting so close to achieving her goal. The way she'd used Subaru's plans to interfere with the book's predictions and force him to act was most impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But the miscalculation she made was believing that the book's path couldn't be fixed. If Roswaal could make the Snowfallen Sanctuary, then the conclusion to this world would be the same as the book had predicted.
Yeah, that was also kind of briefly mentioned in the episode. Like, they literally said this exact same thing, but like it was like a little like vague. But yeah, crazy. Even though, so it's kind of like it's not about like the journey. It's about how it ends, I guess, right? Like, even if like the path is like different, if the conclusion is the same, then Roswaal still fucking wins in the end. True, yeah, she would have died without Roswaal. That rando grunt cultist that cut off her horn really influenced so much. That's true. Yeah, because another thing to I gotta like remind myself is the fact that like Roswaal technically wasn't the one that obviously had to do anything with the horn actually being cut off and all that shit. He kind of just laid back and let it happen and just took advantage of it after. So yeah.
If Roswaal could make the Snowfallen Sanctuary, then the conclusion to this world would be the same as the book had predicted, thus rendering all other deviations completely meaningless. Anyway, the rest of this scene was pretty much the same.
Okay.
So now we can move on to the events in the mansion. Prior to what we saw in the anime, there was a bit of lead up showing how Petra found herself wandering the hallways. It was only a mere few hours ago that she was completing the last few tasks given to her as a maid of this residence. She attempted to deliver Beatrice her meal, wiped down the girl she only knew as Rem, then visited Frederica to receive her assessment on how she performed her daily work.
W. Petra.
Once all of that was finished, she returned to her room and went to sleep in preparation for the next day. But it was during that rest that she found herself awoken by a very tense Frederica. The instant Petra realized that things weren't normal, she immediately picked up on a sensation that was very familiar to her. It
Very
was an aura
familiar.
she recognized from a harrowing experience that only occurred a few months ago.
Oh, damn.
So that got her in the mindset that this was a dangerous situation.
Yo, how the she says that shit? She could tell? Let me find out Petra got powers, man. Nah. Was it I think she just like knew the vibes were off. Pretty much. Like I don't think she actually felt that. But yeah, that's crazy. Yo, Petra knew, okay.
So that got her in the mindset that this was a dangerous situation.
Yo, is Petra like the strongest in the verse? Maybe. Maybe she actually is the strongest in the verse.
Making her ready for whatever orders Frederica was about to give her. The plan was for Petra to leave the mansion through the dining hall and head to the village.
Yeah.
But it was as she was making her way there that she suddenly remembered the girl she promised to take care of, leading us to where we started in the anime.
Okay.
After Petra encountered Elsa and failed at finding Beatrice, her next scene with Subaru actually began with the confirmation of their promise. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't include Subaru's own tattered version of the handkerchief, but the first thing Subaru did was show her that he'd kept it the entire time.
Oh, that's so sick. What the fuck? I mean, the scene that they did in the anime was still pretty good. I think it was still pretty good. Like the whole like help me, Petra said help me, and then Subaru was like yeah, I'll help you. I think that's still pretty good. But I think this has more meaning. I think this has more like emotional impact. Like, hey, I still got the charm. Like, damn, they really cut that. Oh, okay, that's really good though. Yeah, W Petra though for sure, man.
It was that in combination with his gentle words that helped Petra to calm herself. As for Frederica, the difference in strength between herself and Elsa was made apparent right from the get-go.
For sure.
Elsa was easily reading her dodges, then following it up with ranged attacks that were sure to hit.
Yeah, I remember back in like episode 6 or something, like when they fought, bro, Frederica got cooked, bro. Like it was bad, bro. Yeah, Elsa's just on a whole nother level, bro.
Resulting in Frederica taking several iron skewers to the arm.
Yeah.
While none of the damage was fatal, each attack did work to reduce her endurance little by little. So it was clear that Elsa was just toying with her until the opportunity came where she could slice her stomach.
Jesus.
Luckily for her, this was also the very reason why she was able to stay alive. And it also gave her one single chance for a counterattack. What Frederica did was she turned her legs into their beast form, then kept them hidden under her dress, allowing her to surprise Elsa with a massive burst of speed far beyond what her human form was capable of. As she accelerated to a velocity faster than the wind, her goal was to claw out Elsa's vitals, or at least strike any part of her body that she could. But the moment she was supposed to make contact, the woman that was just there had completely vanished. She was neither in front nor behind anymore, leaving the only place left to check the ceiling. The instant Frederica looked up, Elsa began to jump around from ceiling to wall, much like how she did when she was facing Reinhardt.
Oh, what the fuck? It's this level of fucking what the hell, dude? What?
But as good as Frederica was at tracking rapid motions such as this, there was nothing she could do to follow where Elsa was going.
Oh,
All she could make out were the fading shadows and after images of where Elsa used to be. As Elsa dove in for what Frederica knew was the decisive attack, that's when Garfield
that's
stepped
when
in to
Garf.
save her,
Okay.
bringing us to the final moments of the episode.
What?
Now, while the fight does continue on from here, it relates to stuff that will
Yeah.
likely be included next episode.
Bro, what? You're telling me that fight went more like the Reinhardt one? No, she's not human, bro. Nah, she not no damn fucking human. Bro, that is not a... It's not a fucking human, bro. What the fuck is she? Dude, what is she? She was doing the episode 3 thing, bro. She was going all the... That's crazy. Damn, that went really differently in the fucking novels then. Oh my god. Yeah, all that handkerchief thing with fucking Subaru? Wow, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, those last 7 minutes were just too fucking much, bro. There's a lot going on in the last 7 minutes, man. Absolute peak, bro. Well, that is it for today's cut content from AniNews. Another W cut content. Thank you so much, man. That's gonna be it for today. If y'all enjoyed and you're new, subscribe, leave a like down below. The full uncut version to all ReZero content will be on Patreon. As always, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.